All right, take two. All right, guys, no fancy intro needed. It's the OHIO podcast right here. As always, smash that like button. Share with a family member or friend who happens to be Buckeye or Purdue fan. And also comment below. We want to hear from you. Guys, we're here with DK, the Purdue fan, the
I'm
Purdue
back.
Boilermaker. He's back. He's always welcome back on this channel, 100%. And Eric did predict this would go off the rails within 60 seconds. We'll see if we can. We'll see if we can make
I
it.
mean, this is already our second take, so I mean,
So
we
it's already off the rails, which is so ironic for Boilermakers.
listen. We're engineers; it happens.
It's true. And, I've seen some engineering going on with the roads here in Florida. It doesn't make any sense.
Those Florida drivers too. Good Lord Almighty.
Oh, I don't. It's not all our fault with these roads. Good lord.
That's true. That's true.
I actually saw a double laned roundabout today. I was like, this doesn't work. And
That
the interior lane actually can go straight at any time. It's like, yeah, that's not going to cause any wreck.
that would have hurt my brain. Just be like, what in the hell is going on? What are we?
I have to pay serious attention when I'm doing it. Oh my goodness! But we're here to talk because it's off season. There's nothing to talk about really. Ohio State and Purdue's history. I got to be honest with you, DK. I actually respect and like Purdue. I do. I do. I like them. They've been a thorn in our side, but you know what made me like them is I grew up with Drew Brees being the quarterback at Purdue, and I have to respect a program that puts out a guy like Brees, who's one of the all-time NFL greats, and was
Oh yeah,
one of the all-time Big Ten greats, if not the greatest Big Ten quarterback of all time.
he is our pope.
Oh man,
You
hopefully
should see when he comes to games. Like it used to be, he'd time it like with Saints off weeks or whatever, bye weeks. He would walk and people just stamped and just like, oh my god, it's true. Like it's true, it's really him. And it's like it was like I've never seen the Pope in person, rest in peace. But like I've seen how people react. It was almost like that.
did he get in a car and stand up and
Yeah, yeah. He's got his Breeze mobile. Yeah,
I actually have nothing but I saw him against the Buckeyes earlier, and we're going to talk about it. Obviously, saw him against the Buckeyes in the late '90s. I got to be honest with you, dude. That guy had more moxie about him. It just didn't make sense. I thought we were
yeah.
way better at times, and I'm like, God, he just keeps coming.
He's a baller. Still is. He could still play if he could if his shoulder held up. But
Yeah, well, I think the Chargers gave up on him way too early.
oh, dude, they got whoever made that deal. They're still kicking themselves to
Oh
this day.
well, and then of course Drew ain't unhappy, ending up with Sean Payton. That's a
Yeah,
marriage made in heaven right
yeah,
there.
that was perfection.
Exactly. I got nothing. I'm an Aaron Rodgers guy because I'm a Packer fan, but I got nothing but respect for Breeze.
Love it.
100%.
I love the old school quarterbacks like A Rod and Breeze and
Mm-hmm.
Favre and the guys who wore the longer sleeves.
Yep.
Like you show me a long sleeve quarterback and that guy's throwing at least 200 yards.
That's what it takes.
Yeah,
That's the Samson Delilah story. If you cut their sleeves off, they can't throw.
I
But
like it.
anyway, guy, man, we want to talk about Ohio State Purdue because you guys have been a thorn in our side. Nothing but respect. This is a Midwestern blue collar lunch pail type of team that they
Mhm.
don't care how good you are. You came into our house today and disrespected us. We're going to punch you in the mouth. I don't
Oh
care
yeah.
if you got 16 5-stars on your team. We're going to punch you in the mouth.
Or
So
like how Dan Campbell said, we're gonna chew your kneecap off and spit it out, and we don't give a darn.
that I love it. I love that
If Dan
mentality.
Campbell doesn't work out at the Lions, which I hope he does, big fan is, he would be perfect here at Purdue.
Yeah, you know what? I think he will work out the Lions. I mean, he actually did pretty well with the Dolphins, and they just kind of gave him a raw deal. So it's like,
And if you can make what he made out of the Lions historically, he's doing pretty good.
gonna be hard losing Ben Johnson though.
Oh yeah,
That's a tough loss.
it's gonna be tough.
Um, so anyway, DK, tell me a little bit about like you've been watching him since I imagine the '90s and 2000s and stuff like that. If you're as old as Chris, since the '60s, but
You're giving him too much credit.
'40s, 50, Hop along Cassidy days,
Ugh,
uh,
1900, you know.
when I started.
Yeah, exactly. Leather helmets.
It's like, man, these face masks are for wusses.
Who needs them?
Oh man, so tell me what got you into being like the Purdue fan?
Well, so it all started with my dad. My
Mm,
dad went to school there, graduated in '77, and grew up going to football games. I mean, that's really what it was. I think my first football game, I was like 2.5, I think my mom said. So like very like infant and going to games.
Brainwashing you early. There you
Yeah,
go.
he brainwashed me at a very early age. And I grew up, I live in Ohio, I live in Dayton. I grew up here. So I've always been around Ohio State fans. And like I said on I think one of the main OHIO shows, like I used to hate Ohio State and Ohio State fans. Used to despise them. But then I met you guys and I guess Wildman. And I started and I started like, you know what? Some of these guys aren't so bad. And now I forget who it was on one of the live shows named me an honorary Buckeye. So I mean, like you never know
Definitely
what
got to
can
be
happen.
Eric. Yeah.
Yeah, probably the Podfather. But yeah, I grew up going to football games, basketball games when we could. My dad owned a propane company, so it's kind of hard to leave in the wintertime. So that's why we mainly went to football games. But yeah, it's all because of my dad. Like he's the reason I'm a Purdue fan. I mean, if I showed you my man cave right now, it's mostly like his stuff. He passed away
Oh man.
3 years ago now. Yeah,
Oh
3 years.
my gosh, dude. Same with me. To September 2021, my dad died.
That was
So.
February for my dad. Yeah,
Oh
wow.
wow, that's a coincidence. I didn't
Yeah,
know
and that's
that.
something. But yeah, so I got a lot of his Purdue stuff. I got a Purdue airport sign that he allegedly didn't steal. He for sure did. Like he's like, no, there's a couple buddies of mine that he was in the Delta Sigma Phi fraternity. He goes, so they put it in my room. Well, yeah, okay, whatever. Like, yeah, good, whatever you say, Dad. So he's the reason I'm a Purdue fan, man. Like, if it wasn't for him, I'd probably be one of you.
I'm
Uh,
sorry to see. I'm sorry to say I'm wrong, man. That's
I know.
pretty terrible.
And there were seasons where my dad looked at me and he was like, "I'm sorry." like we've had season tickets. This is my 17th year of having like my dad, right? Because I took over his season tickets
Mhm.
after he passed. But years during the Daryl Hazel era, where we're losing to MAC teams and getting
I thought
blown
he'd be
out
a
by.
good coach too.
Oh, I was excited for him, but like sitting there in this empty stadium, we're down by 40 to I don't know, Miami of Ohio or something. And my dad just, sorry, buddy. Like, I can't believe, like, guys, sorry I put you through this, but I wouldn't want it any other way.
That's
So
that's
it's,
a
yeah,
special connection. That's why I'm a Buckeye fan, because of my dad. I totally
exactly.
get it.
That's what makes it like, because all my friends are like, why? Like, you're such a diet. Like, you didn't even go to school there. Like,
Who
whatever. I
cares?
said, it's right. And I'm like, well, like, my friends get it, but other people, like,
Yeah.
we did a podcast with some Virginia Tech guys when we played them a few years ago during the 6 hour rain delay. And I think Frank from our podcast went to Purdue, and Russ. The other three, we didn't go to Purdue, and he kind of clowned us for that. And I was like, man, like fandom goes deeper, especially in college. Like it's in college football and basketball, it's a family thing. It can easily be a family thing, and so I never understood that. But yeah, like I'm as Purdue gets. I just don't have the fancy piece of paper. And I love it. I love Purdue. I don't know if you've been to campus, but if you haven't, you got to
Not
come
yet.
up. You
I
got to
definitely
come
want to
up.
go to a West Lafayette game, even though we probably lose that game. I still want to go to that one.
You'll probably have to sit between Bogsy and Wildman. And listen, this stadium was not built for fellas like me, Wildman, and Chris. Wildman and Eric within mine. We didn't exist. People our size did not exist then.
When they built the
And
stadium, like nobody will ever. No,
no one's gonna go over 200 pounds. What? Like what?
ridiculous.
Yeah, no one's gonna be over 6 foot. What do you mean?
Yeah.
So the seats are pretty small. I have a
But
seat here, but yeah, it's tight. So you may want to squeeze in between the two handsome fellas here.
You know what, I do love me some college football. You're right though; it's of the heart, man. It
Yeah,
really, really is. In fact, because of my dad, I became more of a college fan than an NFL fan,
yeah.
just because of the passion, the heart, and I regrettably never got to go to a game in the shoe with him. I finally
Mm.
got my first game in the shoe a year after he passed.
Oh,
The sad part is in 16 we had tickets to go to the Bowling Green game, first game of the year, but he
mm,
got a diabetic cyst on his neck and had to go to a
mm.
hospital, and he didn't pass then, but I was like, well, I'm just going to eat these tickets because I can't sell them and
Yeah,
nobody wanted to buy them, and I'm not going without them. That's
yeah,
stupid. So I was born and raised in Florida, never went to Ohio State, but I'm with you, man. I totally get it.
yeah,
It's in your heart. That's all
yeah.
it is. It's
It's
stamped
a
on your heart.
lifestyle. Listen,
Exactly.
and if anybody like, there's been people. No one's ever questioned my Purdue fanhood because like who would put themselves through such a
I'm
thing?
about to say, who could question it?
like okay,
You're not a
basketball.
true fan.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, were you there for one of those national titles? What national titles? Where are they? Because
You're a bandwagon from the Ryan Waters era.
yeah, right. From the Braum era, which that was the thing. Like people are like, I love Jeff Braum. I'm going to become a Purdue fan. And I'm like, all right, we'll see who you'll root for next year. Like, because you're not going to be here long. Like that's the thing. And Matt Painter said one time, the head basketball coach here, he goes, you can see a person with a Duke or North Carolina or Notre Dame hoodie, and they could just be wearing it for the hell of it. But if you see somebody with a Purdue hoodie on, like they either went to school there, their mom or dad, brother, sister, somebody went to school there. He goes, because no one's ever bought a Purdue hoodie and be like, ooh, that looks cool. Like, I'm going to don this thing. So that's what I love about Purdue, and the community is great. Like there's no every podcast that is a Purdue podcast, we're all friends. Like we all hang out. Like there's no like button heads or anything. Like we go on each other's shows all the time. But
Why would
it's
you
like,
do that? Why would you butt it?
it's stupid, right? I mean, there was one podcast; they're not around anymore. But yeah, man, that's how I became a Purdue fan. It's all because of my dad. Now I get to go to games with two of his fraternity brothers from college that I call uncles. My uncle Louie and Uncle Bob. Shout out to Delta Sigma Phi brothers and my dad, and so I get to share it with them. And I think since we're talking Purdue upsets, Purdue, one of the last games my dad and I went to, because he got sick in 20 is when he was first diagnosed with cancer. So 18 would have been the Tyler Trent game.
Yeah.
And that was one of the last games Dad and I went to. And man, that was just.
You're making it bittersweet for me.
Yeah.
Because I obviously hate that we lost that game. We'll get to that game, obviously.
Yeah.
That's in the top 5, guys. I'm just
Oh,
spoiler
yeah.
alert. But that being said, it was bittersweet because of Tyler Trent. I was like, you know what? He got to see what he wanted to see.
He's
I'm
a
not
great
going to.
kid.
Yeah, he seemed like a great guy, and I feel terrible for him. And
Yeah.
now that I know that you and your dad, that was your last game together,
Yeah.
I'm okay with us losing that game. I got to be
Well,
honest.
and I was friends with Tyler. I know his parents. I still talk to his parents. His brother Ethan, I still talk to all the time, who just got a scholarship. He walked on, and then Barry Odom just gave him a scholarship. The Trents are amazing. I love them to death. Like I consider them really good friends. I don't know if they'd say the same about me, but but no, they're great,
He's an
man.
acquaintance.
Yeah, that guy. Ooh, I don't know,
Keeps hanging
but
around our window. It's weird. I don't know.
yeah, it's super weird. So what just hangs out. But they're all great people, and the fact Tyler, like the one thing, and we'll talk about it, but the one thing I remember mostly about that game is Ethan, who's now an offensive lineman at Purdue, wheeling Tyler back to the locker room as everyone's going bananas, and I'm texting my Ohio State friends, and I think I tweeted, "Ohio State fans, feed me your tears," and I ticked off a lot of people back here in my hometown. They were not happy.
You know what? We lost. We got our butts kicked. There's no excuses for it. But you know what? Some good memories are made for Purdue fans and for Tyler's family.
Yeah.
Let's just call it what it is. It's bittersweet for Buckeye fans. Yeah, we hate losing. Of course we do. But
Yeah.
I mean, there's at least there's good results from it, right?
I was gonna say let us have one, but as we'll see in this list, there's
There's
been
some more than one.
yeah.
Let you have one.
Yeah,
Jeez. But
let you
that's the
have
thing is
10.
we don't let you have them. You take them because you have that lunch pail mentality.
I mean, yeah, outside Ross 8 Stadium, there's a statue of a Boilermaker, and he's ripped all to hell and has the end of the hammer, and it's like they walk past that now, maybe under it because of the new tunnel. Anyway, but it's a massive stadium Boilermaker statue outside the stadium, and that's the Purdue way, I think, right there.
I can't do anything but respect it. Honest to God, I can't. The all-time record, Ohio State is up 43 to wins, 15 losses, 2 ties to Purdue.
Nice.
Some little factoids. First meeting, November 8th, 1919. Ohio State won 20-0.
Wild man was there.
That was his 12th birthday, I think. Most recent meeting, November 9th, 2024. We won't go over the score for DK's sake.
I was there. I saw it.
Yeah. Largest margin of victory for Ohio State, 56-0 in 2013. That game shocked me. I gotta be honest with you.
That was tough.
Largest margin of victory for Purdue. We're gonna get this is one of the 5. Spoiler: 41-6, 1967 over Woody Hayes.
Oh, Woody. Hey, by the way, I do have a Woody Hayes bobblehead.
Oh my gosh,
Look
he's
at that.
prepared for the occasion. On top of
He's
everything
next
else,
to my Gene Katie bobblehead because I feel like they're two in the same.
that's
Just
true. That's good. And Gene's a legend, obviously.
still kicking.
Man, gosh, man, he's got to be proud of Matt Painter. You'd think, right?
Oh, he's the when they made it to the Final Four, and I saw Gene Katie shed a tear. I shed a tear.
You're like, I'm
It's like
crying too.
Gene's
Dang it.
crying. We all can cry. Dang it.
The longest win streak, believe it or not, it is Ohio State. Is only 7 games. It isn't one of those like Indiana things where we've beaten them like 48 times in a row.
Yeah.
7 games is not a huge win streak.
Not a while. Not even a decade.
From 88 to or 89 to 99, but 99 is one of those losses, I believe, to Purdue.
Yeah.
Longest win streak for Purdue is 2 games, 1943 to 1945.
Man, during the war.
I guess all
your guys went overseas. Ugh.
Oh, there it goes. It came back.
Cool.
We're still going. It's all good. Some technical, though. Just like Ohio State versus Purdue, sometimes some technical difficulty. This is a stat that blew me away. Ohio State leads on the road against West Lafayette, but only 16-10.
Really?
They're not dominating.
No, listen. They have nightmares from Ross 8.
Oh my gosh! I think every time like Urban thinks of West Lafayette, he just starts triggering and just starts shaking. Somebody get it away!
It's Purdue Pete. Purdue Pete's just chasing him down in the streets.
Dang it, Purdue! Oh shoot! So we're going to go in the top 5 losses here, but a couple of honorable mentions. Number 1 honorable mention: 2011, Purdue 26, Ohio State 23 in overtime.
I was there.
It was at West Lafayette. Wasn't it? Was West Lafayette? That's West Lafayette. Okay. I can't speak. I can't say West Lafayette. See, that's how triggered I am.
Can't even say it.
Ohio State had a record of 6-3. Purdue had a record of 4-5. Yeah, and then we went on to lose every other game and go 6-7 for the year. But so we had a great year. But Ohio State, that was a Luke Fickell year.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so that was our post-Jim Tressel, pre-Urban Meyer.
Well, and the game-winning touchdown, Rob Marv on the 1-yard line happened directly in front of our seats. Because at that year we were on.
How crazy did you go?
Oh, I went bananas. I was like, what, 16? Like I went off the chain, rushed the field. Like I don't even know. I think I left my entire family and just went right into the field.
I don't care about any of you.
Yeah, I'm for like, oh man, and so I was in high school during that, and going back that Monday, oh man, they were not happy to see me.
And I think Chris was in his 2nd year of Social Security, so
yeah. 3rd. Don't give him too much credit.
Sorry, I lose count.
We love you, wild man.
I hope he watches this. It's gonna be fun.
He's probably past his bedtime.
Well,
the nursing home calls lights out at like 8:30, so he's right on the cusp.
Oh my gosh, poor guy. Another honorable mention: 2000, Purdue 31, Ohio State 27. Ohio State was ranked 12th. Purdue was ranked 16. So that was a pretty even matchup ranking wise. Drew Brees, 455 yards, including a game-winning 64-yard touchdown pass to Seth Morales, under 2 minutes remaining, and Ohio State's Rose Bowl hopes went down the drain.
You hate to see it. Sorry.
Well, you don't hate to see it, but
yeah, I love to see it.
Yeah, you were having fun. Yeah, that's again, Drew Brees is like the GOAT as far as like I don't. Is he the GOAT of the NFL? I don't know. He's in that top 10 range.
Yeah, he's definitely top up there.
I mean, because he was just phenomenal, and he was a thorn in my side for a long time as a Packers
I was also
fan.
like 6 in 2000, so I'm a young buck.
So you probably don't remember it too well, or
I mean, like I remember bits and pieces. I remember like Drew Brees. I remember my dad talking about Drew Brees a lot. Like, that's kind of where it's at.
Yeah, Brees was nothing but respect for Drew. I mean, that dude's a baller. I don't care what anybody says. And like I said, in my growing up era, I grew up with Brett Favre, but then I had the pleasure of Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, and Aaron Rodgers all in the same era. Like, come on.
Oh, it's perfect quarterbacks.
That's just like quarterback play had reached a peak we had never seen, in my opinion, in the NFL.
Like we talked about, the long sleeves. I mean,
that's what it was. Everybody had long. You're right.
They got to bring him back.
Well, you know what? Now is the era of the running quarterback, so the short sleeves are out because the wind resistance on the long sleeves.
That's exactly. They act like they're aircraft.
So we're in the top 5 now. Number 5, 2004. Jim Tressel's pretty much his bad year after 2001, where it was November 13th, 2004. Purdue 24, Ohio State 17. It was at West Lafayette. Ohio State come in ironically at 6-3 again. Purdue had a record of 5-4. Yet we had a 4-game winning streak on you guys at the time, and you came in and beat us. Kyle Orton, 236 yards, 2 touchdowns. That's a guy I really respected. He stayed in the NFL for quite a while.
He's one of my. I think I got a Buffalo Bills jersey of his. I'm a jersey collector, and he's one of my. He was the quarterback really when I was growing up. Like Brees was there when I was really young, but he followed Brees, which one hard to do.
Yeah,
and he did it pretty dang good. Didn't make it to a road or anything, but was a solid quarterback. Of course, everyone wants to bring up that fumble against Wisconsin, but that just brings me a little PTSD. But no, Orton still is like a great ambassador of Purdue football.
He started for like 4 NFL teams, man. It wasn't like he was a bum.
He had a solid career. I mean, like nothing. Like he made his money, and it was like, all right, cool. Another long sleeved quarterback. I'm just saying it's there. We have it.
Hey, Drew Brees was not long sleeve in the end of his career, though, was he?
No, he started tucking them in. Yeah,
I think the shoulder issue. That's probably what it was.
Yeah, he probably
provided a little extra padding.
A little support.
I liked Kyle Orton though. I remember the announcer saying, "Kyle, this guy's a player too." I mean, they're not finished after Drew Brees. They got another guy coming.
Oh,
and he was a good one. I mean, and when he got, like I said, 4th round draft pick or something like that, and just made himself into a bit of a journeyman, but had a great career.
Yeah.
So, and everybody who got him said, you know what, this guy can start for us.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like he was just like a Rick Meyer and just stayed a 3rd string on 15 teams,
Yeah, right, exactly.
After being drafted 2nd, So, I like picking on Notre Dame if you can't, though.
Oh, anytime, anywhere. I'm all about it.
Most overrated program in history. I don't care.
You're preaching to the choir.
1984 comes in at number 4. Purdue 28, Ohio State 23. Earl Bruce was Mr. 9-3. No disrespect, but we were 4-0. We were ranked number 2 in the country. Purdue was unranked, and they upset the second-ranked Buckeye. Jim Everett. Do you remember that name?
Follows me on Twitter. No big deal.
No kidding.
Yeah, me and Jim are a little bit of homies.
You know what? Purdue's got a good QB history in the NFL, don't they?
Hey, cradle of quarterbacks.
I'm serious, man. They way better than Ohio State's QB history. It's like not even close.
I told Eric one time that Ohio State's quarterbacks make XFL history. He was not thrilled. I don't know, but I just remember I was like, who? Like I growing up loved Troy Smith. Pryor was awesome, but like none of the quarterbacks have just not made an NFL impact.
I knew Pryor wasn't going to be an NFL QB. I was like, I thought Troy maybe, but when he got drafted in the 5th round, I was like, the NFL teams kind of know something that's not, In fact, quick factoid: Craig Krenzel got drafted higher than Troy Smith.
Oh wow, I didn't realize that.
About 30 picks or something like that. Yeah,
that's pretty wild.
Shows how dumb NFL GMs really are. That's pretty bad. But it's funny because our previously most successful Buckeye quarterback in the NFL, Mike Tomczak, was the one who lost at Purdue in this game.
Wow,
quarterback intercepted him twice.
Man, oh man!
And I guess our national championship aspirations were pretty much derailed at that point.
Whoops.
Whoops. Yeah.
Sorry.
By the way, and guess where it happened? Oh yeah, West Lafayette.
Mm-hmm. Ross-Ade Stadium, home of Buckeye tears.
We water your field.
Yeah. Hey, we have natural grass, so we need it.
It's like that's why you got to beat it. It's like, guys, we don't have any water. You got to beat Ohio State.
We're scheduled to Buckeyes. We need them.
We need buckets and buckets. And half of them are pods or pod fathers.
Poor Eric. God love him.
Oh, because somebody's got to. But
God loves Sarah.
We all love Eric. Yeah. Number 3. Again, I spoiled it earlier, but Woody Hayes got mud stomped.
Sorry, Purdue.
41-6.
Oh, he had to be fuming after that game. I wouldn't want to be in that post game locker room.
Here's a caveat. Now, Chris was the ripe old age of 45 during this game.
Him and Woody were best friends. What do you think?
Exactly. Woody looked up to him.
Yeah.
Purdue was actually ranked number 2 in the country, believe it or
Ew.
not.
See, all this
And
happened before my time.
yeah,
all the good years.
they waited like, well, sorry, dude, we can't.
Uh,
You scored 35 points in the first half. Running back Leroy Keys leading the charge.
Leroy.
Largest victory over Ohio State in Purdue history. You got it over Woody.
I also have Leroy Keys, my guy.
There you go. There you
One of
go.
the legends.
Now put him next to Woody.
Yeah, that's where they are right now. Yeah.
That's why he stares
Sorry,
at him
Woody.
like, you know what I did to you?
I can feel Woody Hayes hunting me right now.
Here's a good thing for Ohio State. This game made Woody Hayes realize he needed to make some changes and overhauled the roster, overhauled some coaching staff, and the next year Ohio State won the national championship.
You're welcome. Listen, if it wasn't for Purdue, where would this program be?
Probably about the same.
I don't know. We've knocked you out of the playoff, a couple once or twice.
Yeah, 2018. We'll get to that one. That was. I got so many memories of that one.
I can't wait.
Yeah, number 2, 2009. We were ranked number 7. Purdue was 1-5.
Yeah.
Oh, guess where it happened? Oh yeah, West Lafayette.
Bingo. We had Joey Elliott, another long-sleeved quarterback. It keeps coming back up, but it's true.
And the funny thing is, by the way, going back to number 3, that was in Columbus. So you spanked Woody in the shoe.
In the shoe. Oof.
Yeah, that was yikes.
Yikes.
Ohio State committed 5 turnovers this game. I remember that going, why? Why?
Yeah.
Why we keep turning the ball over?
What do we do?
2 interceptions and a fumble by Terrell Pryor. Again, Buckeye fans are going to hate me for this. I still stand by this. He's overrated.
Well, and one of my favorite all-time photos came out of that game, and it's Ryan Kerrigan who tore Ohio State's offensive line to shreds that game.
Yes, he did.
And it's Kerrigan reaching for Pryor and just like a cheetah. And it's like one of the coolest photos of all time. I love
Kerrigan
that.
had a really nice NFL career.
He did. He's a ball. He's with he's still with he's coaching for Washington.
I was going to say, he's still playing?
No. He retired. But yeah, one of my all-time favorite Boilers.
Yeah, you sacked Pryor 5 times. I'm sure Kerrigan got in on that a little bit.
Yeah.
First loss to a team that finished the season with a losing record since 2001, Purdue.
Sorry about it.
Why do you guys just haunt us? And we got number 1. You know what one this is.
Mm-hmm.
This is the Urban Meyer getting depantsed in the middle of West.
That damn near had a heart attack. I mean,
a real one this time.
A real one. Yeah, he didn't just like oops. No, it was legit. I got where I'd see him on the sideline. I was like, is he okay? Get the ambulance.
I remember watching this game very vividly, and I remember Urban after the game just sitting at the table, and they were asking him questions, and he just looked like somebody just shot his dog. He was just like, I don't got no answers for you guys. I don't know.
Thank God they didn't put me on camera.
We were ranked number 2 in the country. Purdue was 3-3. We had the only guy I've ever seen to rival Drew Brees in the Big Ten, not the NFL, obviously, but the Big Ten, was Dwayne Haskins.
One of my favorites. I love Dwayne Haskins.
I loved him, man. He's still my favorite quarterback of all time in Ohio State. Rest in peace. God rest his soul.
Was he the one that said we didn't come here to play school? No, that was Cardale Jones.
That's Cardale, yeah.
Cardale said we didn't come here to play school.
Although I'm sure Dwayne had a similar sentiment.
Yeah. I feel like if you're going to Ohio State, academics aren't on the top of your list.
Especially if you aspire to be an NFL quarterback. It's like, dude, I ain't studying that science test. I got to go watch film.
Exactly.
But yeah, I remember that game because it was like 21-3 at one point or something like that. And I remember in a group chat just laughing about it. Like, we're just getting our butt. I mean, I'm going to keep it clean, but I didn't keep it clean in the group chat.
Yeah.
Neither did I. Yeah, you shouldn't. You had every right.
My buddies texted me when it was 21-3, and as a lifelong Purdue fan, they told me like it's over, congratulations, and I'm like, it is not over. Like I've seen too many like wild games at this stadium, and it is not over till that clock hits.
The only thing that made me give me hope is I knew Dwayne could put up points, but you guys stifled our running game you just basically said, Dwayne, you're going to get your stats,
yeah,
but we're not letting you run the ball. and we got in the red zone a couple of times, and I remember we just couldn't run the ball. It was like, and Dwayne is not a threat in the zone read or nothing, so it wasn't like you needed an extra defender to watch him,
Yeah.
So,
And we had DJ Knox, and that short but stout, and he was tearing stuff to shreds. I mean, that
yep.
guy. Oh, and then Rondale Moore, that play where that happened in front of my seats too. And I
Mm.
remember looking at my dad and my uncles. I'm like, did that just happen? Like, that's real. Like, that really just I couldn't believe it. I saw it with my own two eyes.
This is a play where like we missed a tackle him 8 times or
Twice,
whatever.
yeah. And like, he had three guys just miss him. He
I think
squatted.
Sean Wade was trying to like give him a hug.
Yeah, and just melted onto him.
Yeah.
Oh, God, it was glorious. That was one of the best nights of my life.
Yeah, I wanted Shiano fired that night.
Oh, yeah, I forgot he was there.
Well, I remember that there was a situation where our linebacker Malik Harrison was guarding Rondale Moore in a slot, and I'm like, "Who allowed this?
What is
What kind
going
of
on?
defensive set are you in?"
Are we experimenting? Like, what is this?
It's like, I promise you, he can't stick with Rondale. I mean, in a phone booth, he couldn't stick with Rondale Moore. I promise you. Rondale Moore was in his recruitment was interesting. I remember Texas wanted him at one point, and I was like, I remember seeing his high school film, going, Ohio State, you need to get this guy. This guy is a monster. And we, for some reason, I don't know if we cooled on him or he just didn't want to come. I don't know what the story is. I'm not going to.
I think the main reason was he went to Jeff Brom's high school.
Okay.
And that's how Jeff got the big in with Rondale, because he was played in the Army All-American game, whatever it's called. And it's rare that you see a Purdue cap on this table. And he had a Purdue hat with an Ohio State hat and somebody else. And like reaches for the Ohio State hat, and I'm like, ah, and then goes for the Purdue, and I'm like, ah, that never happens. Hell yeah. But one of my favorites, man, Rondale was a baller, and he's having a solid. He's battled some injuries in the league, but
well, he's a little on the smallish side, unfortunately.
but he's fast, and he squat. I think he
he's so
squatted
quick,
like 500, 600 pounds, something insane that he could squat in the gym. And
he
kid had
absolutely.
the legs, man. Like, he was wild.
Who was the quarterback that night for you guys?
David Blau.
Okay, yeah, I just remember Blau and Rondale just were a 2-man crew, wrecking crew for our defense.
David Blau was one of those very Purdue quarterbacks that, like, we kind of knew. He had a solid NFL career with the Lions. Like, played a few games, played in a Thanksgiving game where he played really well. But like, he was just a Purdue gritty kid who like just went to practice, worked his butt off. One of my favorites. Like, he's not really brought up in the upper echelon of Purdue quarterbacks, but in my opinion, he's definitely up there, just in his attitude and the way he carried himself and led the team. Just like great football player, even better person, like one of those types. We played Illinois, and I think he tore his ACL, and we score a touchdown as they're loading him up in the ambulance, and the Big Ten Network gets this incredible first angle right down, and as he's getting loaded up, does the touchdown thing.
That's amazing.
It's one of my favorite clips of all time. As they're loading him in the ambulance, he's like, like celebrating.
I don't know how you don't like, even if you're an opposing fan, you're like, okay, all right.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty cool. Anytime you see a guy do that, he's just like, yeah, I know I'm going to the hospital, but that's
first.
That game, I knew we weren't going to the playoff no matter what happened the rest of the season after that game. It was like, because it wasn't a close game. You guys just dominated. You blew us out. And I remember in the opening ceremony or whatever, we were kind of doing our workout, and Purdue just walks right through our team.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
And I just remember thinking they just allowed that to happen. You guys didn't fight back, and okay, this game's over.
Well, so like a little like behind the curtain. So before we built the new addition to the south end zone, both teams would go through the same tunnel.
Yeah.
And so
something Michigan has not yet corrected.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't even figured that out yet. Purdue can figure it out. Holy hell.
Well, you are engineers. So.
That's true. And so it used to be like Hazel would let the away team cross to their locker room before we went in ours. And I hated that. It was one of those dumb things I'd get mad about. Like, no, this is our field. Like, our guy's going first. Don't let him. So then Brom took over. And when Brom took over, he was like, forget this. Like, we're first. And the referees would try to hold us back, and he'd be like, nope, like, we're going in. So that's how that happened. That's the situation of that. That's how that little scrum happened. And now Now they still, we come out the total different sides, and you don't get that anymore. But that was like old
Probably
Raw
good
State.
that you don't.
Yeah, yeah,
Because it could cause some serious fights. I mean, those
yeah,
kids are amped up; they're ready to go. And I will say this, especially for Purdue, you're going against the Goliath Ohio State. You know you can. I mean, because the history's there.
yeah,
There's no way Brom's not in there. Like, guys, we have beaten this team. Their program has beaten this program. You can beat this program,
yeah,
and plus their defense stinks. So we're gonna
yeah.
expose it. Um, and they did 100%. I just remember watching, but I was actually starting to doubt Urban as a coach. I was like, I don't know, dude. You're getting blown out now.
Yeah.
We're doing this regularly now.
Yeah.
Like the year before, we had gotten crushed by Iowa,
Hmm.
and it was just like,
Oh,
what
I
is
remember
this?
that.
Yeah, it was like 52-24 at
Yeah.
Iowa, and I'm like, what is this? I mean, don't get me wrong, losing a close game to Purdue, I get it, but
Hmm.
getting destroyed, I was like, something's wrong.
Yeah.
you know.
Like we're used to that. Like when it happens, which it did a lot last year. When we lost Ohio State and Notre Dame by 1 billion, I'm like, whatever. Just not gonna let it hurt.
Like, I'm not hurting too bad.
It's trying. I'm not crying.
I mean, and then when it came down to the playoffs, and I saw that Oklahoma had avenged their only loss to Texas, I was like, there is no freaking way. We're getting it.
Oh man! And
But then they put Georgia with 2 losses ahead of us. I'm like, how much do they hate Purdue? Come
they
on.
all do. Everyone hates Purdue. I did, looking back at my notes, the 2000 game. I put Drew Brees stats, and then my good friend Vinny Sutherland was 0 for 2 that game in catches. And I just wanted to bring that up, Vinny. What the hell are we doing? Anytime I have the ability to give Vinny crap, I will. Come on, Vinny. You had Drew Brees as a quarterback, and you couldn't catch anything. Jeez, I'm gonna text him after this.
And I do want to bring up another point. And it's not just like we lose to Purdue or it's a blowout. No. 2002, our national title year, obviously the Holy Buckeye game.
Yeah.
That game made no sense to me. Now, Joe Chiller was coach. If he was, correct me if I'm wrong. Right?
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Joe Chiller was a heck of a freaking ball coach.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, nothing but
Basketball on
respect.
grass.
The guy is a great coach, and I just remember Purdue was like, okay, we're undefeated. We're looking like we're gearing towards a national championship run, and we were losing 6-3 to Purdue, and it's like
Yeah.
we can't move the ball. And it's
Yeah.
now, granted, I will say this, DK and Eric and Chris get on me about this. I think I can't stand Craig Krenzel as a quarterback. I cannot
I
stand
like
him.
it. I like it.
He was so painful to watch most of the time. But
Yeah.
then he'd do a Holy Buckeye, and you're like, okay, you can't do that. That's not fair.
You can't have both. You can't be terrible and then the best. Like what? Let's keep it consistent. You just want some consistency.
I just saw you struggle completing 5-yard outs to wide open receivers, and yet this bomb to Michael Jenkins falls right there.
Just right in the numbers, like it
I'm
was dropped from the heavens.
I'm like, and you were on the run doing it. I'm like, well, come on, man. And that was Craig Krenzel. It'd be terrible. Like Miami is a perfect example.
Yeah.
4th and 14, perfect pass to Jenkins. I'm like, what? You couldn't complete anything for 3 quarters.
What are we doing? No, I'm lucky to be friends with a bunch of Purdue alumni, but like I'm good friends with Stu Schweigert and Vinny, and I've talked to those guys, and some of their and they beat the hell out of IU. IU isn't. You got to be, and granted, yes, they beat us 66-0 this year, whatever. But like they'd also have to beat us 30 straight years to even tie the series. But they bring up IU, of course, but they're also like those Ohio State games, whether they lost in them or won, were baller games. I mean, just absolute wars. And I think it was 03 where Ohio State
16-13, yeah.
Yeah, and I was at that game. Dad and I were at the shoe. And even they Stu's talked about that game where he had an interception. He's like, man, like the shoe's just one of those stadiums that's just unbelievably loud. Even, it's crazy loud now. Like even back then, it was still loud. And I don't think were they at it. When did they hit 100,000 seats?
I don't remember when they hit it, but I just know that I went to the Notre Dame game 2022, and everyone when Stroud finally hit Johnson in the end zone, I was going deaf. Like, oh my god.
Well, I went to the Ohio State game this past season, and what's the number 4? Jackson? No, number 4 receiver.
Oh, Jeremiah Smith. Yeah.
Jeremiah Smith. I don't know where I got Jackson. Anyway, he has that like over the back like Odell catch, solid bone, 2 eyes. And I'm like, this kid's unbelievable. Like, no wonder. Like, and the crowd pops. And, we get good crowds, about like 60,000 at Ross State, and they're a loud bunch. But man, once said 100,000, that's what Stu said during that game. Like, when they hit that game winning field goal, I remember just going like blank and like just trying to blank everything out, but it was so loud. And so guys talk about those games, man, against Ohio State, because most of the time it's just been all out wars against Purdue and Ohio State. And I think it's one of the undervalued rivals in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Just because there's such a long history. And if you look at the overall record, of course Ohio State runs away with it. But like the games we've talked about that are sprinkled in between, man,
2012.
there have been some incredible games between the Buckeyes and Boilers.
Oh yeah.
And I think, like I said, I think it's one of the undervalued rivalries of the Big Ten.
And that's why I really respect Purdue, because you guys just bring it. And but anyway, we got to get the studio back to Eric, and he's recording soon. So so tell them where they can find you, man.
All right, we're on Twitter, Boiler Express Pod. I'm on Twitter at what am I now? BXPDK. Yeah, BXPDK. I had to change it because now I'm working in education. I didn't want students to find my Twitter, so I had to switch things up a little bit. But yeah, at BXPDK. I'm mostly like most Sunday night shows. I'm in the chat here, hanging out with the Buckeye faithful.
Yep.
Got to hang out with Chris and Eric and those guys at the tailgate at the spring game, which was awesome. But yeah, man, like I'm here a lot. I'm in the comments of this show. We go live most Tuesday nights at 9. If you want to swing by and
yes, definitely swing by. 100%.
We'll talk whatever.
Absolutely swing by. We appreciate you guys. We're here as always having fun, man. This is just, it's been fun, DK. I mean, yes, those games at the time were not fun for me, but it's still been fun. Even the 1967 game when I was there.
Wild man just had his 30th then, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Oh man, we appreciate you.
I love Wild Man, but anytime I get to give him a little grief, I will.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you're here and you don't give him grief, it's almost like you're just wasting time.
Right? Exactly.
All right, guys, we appreciate you as always. Goodbye, God bless, and go Bucks, but also go Boilermakers.
It's Boiler Up. It's
Boiler Up.
We'll teach you. It's fine.
I don't know what your chant is. Yeah,
you'll learn a thing or two. All right.
I was gonna say Boilermaker Nation. I don't know if that's a thing or.
It could be. Why not?
Yeah, we'll make it a thing. Yeah. All right.
You heard it here first. See ya.
Yeah, exactly. See you guys.